Hello, hello. Hello, good evening. Hello, hello. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining today. How are you? I hope you're all good. Welcome to DSA Facebook Live. How are you today? I hope you're okay. That's Dr. Sunday Adelaja. If you're joining us for the first time, thank you so much for joining and you are welcome. Hello, Mrs. D. How are you? Thank you for joining. Please, guys, as you're coming in, start to share immediately and also invite your friends. So share, share, share. If you're having problems sharing, copy and paste the link. So right click on the video and copy the link, then post it onto your page. So where it says what you want to say or what's on your mind, just copy that link onto there and then you will be able to see the video. It will be saved onto your page. I hope you're all good today. Thank you again. I know you can only see me, but rest assured, ID Peters is here. Sir ID Peters. I can't even say his name without putting Sir or CEO on top of it as a title, but he's right here with us. He's on the opposite side. So don't rest assured that it's not just me here, and Julie is fine if anyone is asking or wondering. I hope you're all good. Please share, share, share. We are going to discuss the Truth series, and this is our 10th time of discussing this series. Reason why? Because it has 45 titles that Dr. Sunday treated over about 40 days or so, and it took at least an average of 2 hours per title. So there's a lot to discuss on this series. So join us in this discussion. You know what you can do already in joining us. You can write down your comments, but we prefer if you call us live, and you can call us live on Julie Ngoya's Messenger. That's Julie Ngoya's Facebook Messenger. You can call us live and join in the conversation. We're going to continue the discussion on the series on the power and force of truth. Power and force of truth. So let me say hello to some people that are here already. So I can welcome Raja. Hello, good evening. Thank you for joining. Philip, how are you? Thank you for joining. Hi, Michael. I hope you're okay. Thank you for joining. Thank you, guys. Please share, 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 and say hello. I can only see a few names. I can't see many names at the moment, but please say hello so your name will come up and I can mention your name to greet you this evening. I hope you're all doing well again. My name is Mayawa. I just want to welcome you and appreciate you for joining. So again, you can join us in this conversation. You can either join by writing a note or comment on the comment section to contribute your own quarters or your own thoughts in what we're discussing, or you can call us on Messenger. That's Julie Ngoya's Messenger. Julie will put her messenger details on here now, so you are able to see, click on it and contact us. Hello Louis, hello Twani, how are you? I hope you're all good. Thank you. Those are new names I haven't seen before, but I appreciate you guys for joining and also putting your names up, because I think you listened to me when I said say something. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Right. So let's start this. But before I start, actually, let me remind you, Dr. Sunday is now available on Telegram. So Telegram means you can download as many as Dr. Sunday's messages and teachings free of charge, no charge, and is data friendly. So if you're in Nigeria or any other country where data is a bit of a challenge, then Telegram is your friend. Go to Telegram and download all its teachings. Or if you prefer, you can also go on SoundCloud where you can download, and you can also go on Facebook. Is on Facebook and YouTube. Dr. Sunday has over 2,000 teachings on YouTube, both in audio and video format, but it's a bit data heavy if you if you're going to YouTube, but YouTube is also friendly. You can see other teachings of Dr. Sunday. They're all friendly, actually. YouTube is friendly in the sense that we all go to YouTube and we know YouTube already. So use YouTube, like his page and subscribe to his page so that you can also, his channel, so that you can also get more information from him. Guys, I want to welcome you. I know there's more of you have joined. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much, Doris. Thank you very much. I can only see a few names, so I can't say hello to everyone. Abiodun, good evening. Thank you for joining. As you know, guys, this is the first program that we have in live today. On a daily basis, we have 2 programs. The first one being this. It starts here at 7 p.m. Ukraine time, which is 5 p.m. Nigeria and UK time. And the second program, which is Dr. Sunday all the way, and that's 9 p.m. Ukraine time, that's 7 p.m. UK and Nigeria time. Join us for both. We love when you do. The 7 p.m. program is a combination of different types of programs. We have Kingdom Fruits, we have Attributes. Today we are reflecting on Dr. Sunday's teachings, that's reflection. And then we also have reviews, and we have book reviews as well. So that's 5 different programs that we have on a daily basis that we interchange at 7 p.m. So please join us anytime. Pastor James Jackson, thank you for joining. Thank you all. Everyone, I appreciate you. Okay, so the discussion today is on the power and force of truth, and is series number 34, I believe it is, on YouTube. So if you go to YouTube, you'll find this series on there, and it has over 45 titles. I've mentioned that before, and today we are going to discuss the title number 14, which is that the truth is not based on senses. The truth is not based on senses. I'm going to turn the camera so that you can say hello to ID, and ID can say his pleasantries to you. Okay, ID. Go.
Hello, everyone. It's nice to have you here. It's been my honor and as well as privilege for me to be here on the platform for us to have a wonderful time and a precious time together this evening. I want to welcome everybody on the platform. So if you have not shared this video, you have to share this video, share, and as well invite your friends and your families, because this is 21st century. The currency of the 21st century is in information. So when your mind is full with information, that is the currency of the 21st century. Once again, welcome you on the platform. Thank you.
Thank you, ID. Thank you very much. Okay, guys, that's ID Peters. ID, you're getting a lot of love here. Many people are sending you love. So I'm sure that he's sending his love back to you guys. Thank you so much. That's really nice of you. So as I was saying, we are going to talk about number 14 in the playlist, which is what truth is not. And it says that truth is not only what we perceive with our 5 senses. And this is a really interesting topic to me. I hope that it will be an interesting one to you as well. Because, you know, I have grown up in the West, and I have been told, or actually I've heard several times, even if I'm not told, that seeing is believing. Okay? Seeing is believing. And this is one of the key things in life that I believed, and I've always thought that if I see something, then that is truth, or that is the true state of things. So in these teachings, I was listening to it today, and it tells me, this teaching actually tells me that seeing what you see is not true all the time. Or let's base our discussion on the 5 senses, that the truth is not only what we perceive with our 5 senses. So there's a key word here, which is not only. So it's not saying that it is not what we perceive. We could perceive something that is true with our 5 senses, and it is true, but that it is not only. But I have believed, I don't know about you guys, so you tell me what your thoughts is on this title alone, which is that truth is not only what we perceive with our five senses. Do you feel that way, or is after these teachings that you came to realize that, or have you been told as well that seeing is believing, which means believing is truth, or only when I see it, that's when it's believable? So let me hear read from you or hear your thoughts. You can call Julie Ngoya. So you can either write your comment down, or you can call Julie Ngoya. Let me see what people are writing now and say some more hellos. Hello Vivian, how are you? Thank you very much for joining. Afansun, hello, good evening. Sorry if I have not pronounced your name correctly. Thank you for joining us. Hello Pastor Uche, thank you. Queen Nikki, good evening. Thank you for joining. How are you? Shah, hello, good evening. Thank you for joining. Hi Jane, good evening. Good evening. Thank you guys. So guys, please share this. Hello Uche, how are you? Uchechi, good evening. Thank you for joining. So we're discussing the truth, the power and force of truth series, and we're reflecting on it. So you know how reflection goes. If you don't know, guys, it's just this teachings was a long series that Dr. Sunday taught around July/August, and there was so much to learn on truth. We started with the 5 levels of truth, and we moved on to what truth is not, the difference between truth, a lie, and non-truth. And then it started dissecting what truth is. And then this one is about this one that we're discussing today is truth is not only what we perceive with our 5 senses. So what are your thoughts on that? I'm going to turn the camera again to ID Peters so that he would tell us what he thought about the title. Let's start from there. Truth is not only what you perceive with your 5 senses. Hello Anu, hello Stella, thank you for joining. Thank you very much. So I'm going to turn it, and guys, I'm going to also ask you the same question. So please put your comments down or call us and let us know what your thoughts are on that title alone before we move forward. Okay, ID, what do you have to say about this?
Wow, this teaching, this series was one of the profound teaching on the truth, because we were taught that what we were taught about truth was just what we were taught to be truth was just it was a fallacy. There was nothing to base the argument on, and it was so weak because the only time they mentioned truth for us, it was the truth that the truth will set you free. That was the concept of the truth that we were taught. But now this teaching that Dr. brought forth, it was truth is not only. So if truth is what you perceive with your 5 senses, that is doubt, that is not truth, that is half truth. So that is why Doctor took time to explain to us that truth is not only what we perceive with our 5 senses.
Okay.
And one of the things I would like love, nobody see love. You see, so nobody can see love, and nobody can see faith, nobody can see hope, and nobody as well can see God also. So you see, those are the things that you cannot see, but it does not mean that it is not real. I read something on the phrases that the unreal is more real than the physical things that we see. So the truth that we don't perceive with our 5 senses, they are more real and they are more superior than what we can perceive with our 5 senses.
That's really deep. Can you repeat that, please, Jude?
Okay. I say that the things that are unseen, they are more real than what we can perceive with our five senses.
Wow. Wow. Okay, guys, we've had Sir I.D. Peters drop us that bomb that the truth that we cannot see are more real than what we can perceive with our five senses. And I think this is exactly what this series or this particular title that we're discussing today, which is Truth is Not Only What You Perceive with Your Five Senses, is about. But let us dissect it. Let us put it to pieces, cut it into pieces, and eat this big elephant together. Because this series, particularly this title, was one of the titles that Dr. Sunday really delved into matters that maybe some of us don't even consider. And I remember in this series that he mentioned that even those people that call themselves atheists or agnostics, that they also believe in the truth, and also they have faith. They must have some sort of faith. And you ask me, how do you say that they have some sort of faith? He said everything in life is based on what we cannot see. So what we cannot perceive. So let's go to the five senses. Everything that we do, our life, our decisions, our ideals, everything are based on the things that we cannot see. And we perceive, those things happens without us seeing them. So first thing is that what we are able to see, what is in reality now, is dead, is gone already. What we are living for is what is yet to come, what is yet we are yet to see. And you know, this was a little bit complicated for me when I was listening to it, because I'm usually a person that, again, I'm going to mention is that what I can see, what seeing is believing. But when he broke this down, I was really stunned, and I thought this is actually true. He even mentioned something like even relationship. How do you decide to commit to somebody in a relationship, for example? You're not committing to them based on just today. You're committing to them and you're looking forward to things that are yet to happen, things that are going to be in the future. So let's say you meet somebody now. Yes, you can see them, you can perceive them now, right now, but the things that gives you joy, because everything you see now, they're immediately dying, they're immediately gone as you're experiencing them. But what makes you commit to somebody is what you anticipate in the future with them, what you hope for, your dreams, your desire, what you hope to build with that person. And then when you said that, I was really shocked. I was thinking, oh my God, what, you know, this is so true. And he mentioned, just to put the icing on the cake, that even people that says that they don't believe in God, they don't believe in anything, of course they believe in something. Because if they don't believe in it, then why would they even make any choices? Why would you decide to do certain things? Why would you decide to get married? Why would you decide to have children? You know, you don't know what's going to turn out with them. You know, unless you have the children anticipating that good things will turn out to them. So you haven't seen those good things yet, but you believe that they would happen, that they are possible. There's a possibility. So those are the possibilities that gives you that gives your desire, drive, that makes you do certain things. So I was really shocked actually listening to this. I think that this is about faith. At some point I was thinking, okay, this is about faith, but it's not just about faith. It's actually about existence. It's about reality. It's about life. What life is about human being, and it's about creations and creating. And it's got so much depth, guys. If you haven't actually listened to this, or I was here when he was teaching it and I didn't grasp it until I watched it over and over again. So please feel free to watch it at some point so that you can have an understanding in depth of what this is about. So this is series 34, The Power and Force of Truth, and we are discussing truth is not only what you perceive with your five senses, and that's number 14 on the playlist. So please guys, please go and watch it. So ID mentioned something really important in terms of what is yet to come, being more important. I just say that again and elaborate on it. Give us examples so that people can really grasp this from where they are. And guys, please don't forget to call us, write your comments, and let us know what you're thinking on this and what your contribution is. Remember, this is a place that we all learn, not just me or ID or anybody else that is in the program live here in the studios, but also you also can also teach us. We are not the only one that is giving you information. You also give us information, please. So I'm turning the camera now to ID.
Hello. So what I was saying that the things that are unseen are more real, are more concrete than the things that we are seeing. And so that is why I don't believe that there is nobody on this planet that does not believe in God. Do you know why? Because every one of them are doing the same thing that God was doing. Even all these unbelievers, okay, like Mark Zuckerberg, he was not seeing Facebook, but he saw Facebook on the eyes of his faith. So that is the principle that God put in place. So he was doing the same as God is going to the spirit realm to bring out those inventions. So anybody that uses, okay, if I produce something and somebody is using my thing, that person is using my thing. So he believes in my invention. So even the atheists, they believe in God, because it is from the spiritual realm that they bring out everything that you see on this planet, whether they are houses, whether they are iPhone, iPad, or whatever you can name them. They all come from the source, which is God. So anybody can access that. So we should not pay emphasis on the things that are seen, because anything that is seen, it is gone already. That is why, you know why God buried Moses? Because people would have worshipped Moses. God had to bury him in the grave that nobody recognizes that grave, because everybody would have been worshipping the grave of Moses. But to God, it was done because Moses was finished. So it was time for another person to bring God in another dimension to the people. So that is why I say that the things that are unseen are more real than the things that are seen. God is infinite. Is so big that even 7.5 billion people on the planet can withdraw all the resources from the spiritual realm, from God, to this physical earth. God will not run bankrupt. He's still intact. So that's God for you. So that is why believers, we should have been the people with the best inventions. We should be the best people with ideas, with invention that the world have not yet seen. Because we believe in this principle that God is in us, that we can bring everything to life through the unseen world. That is why, and every corporation, they are always copying what God is doing. Another principle that God uses, God always preserves the best for the last. That is why you see Apple, they come with iPhone 4, iPhone 5, iPhone 6, iPhone 7, iPhone 8 Plus. You see, God was, during the time of creation, He was creating things step by step. So every corporation all of them are copying what God was doing. So you can't tell me that they don't believe in God. They are using the template that God was using.
Wow. Okay, guys, this is getting really interesting. And when ID started talking about Moses, it lost me for a minute, because I'm not really a very good Bible scholar. But one thing that I do know is iPhone. So he got me back when he started talking about iPhone and then talking about creations. Yes, that's me. I can tell you a bit, and I really like the angle that ID is going with this and the way that we're discussing this. So guys, let me just remind you, we are talking about the power and force of truth, and we are on series title number 14, which is truth is not only what you perceive with your five senses. Again, that's truth is not what you perceive with your five senses. And I gave some of my own understanding from Dr. Sunday's teachings of that number 14 that we're discussing. That's title number 14. And my understanding is that I grew up with the understanding that what you seeing is believing. And that was totally debunked, that seeing is not only believing. In fact, it's not even as important as what is unseen. And ID now has nicely linked this to creations. And he talked about God's creation and how God created the earth, that those things are not even seen. They're not even here. When God said, let there be light, let there be other things, and they were created. And then he also linked it to human creations, that regardless of if these people are Christians or not Christians, if you can perceive something, something, those things can also be truth without you having seen them in reality tangible. And that what you see tangible in reality now is gone, is dead. What is actually truth, some of the truths that you would see are things that they are yet to come. And those are the things that we should always focus on, rather than the things that have been. What have been is gone, what are yet to come. So what, it got me thinking, right, we are creators and we should constantly create. And when he mentioned about, even Apple and other creators or product creators, that God always saves the best to last. Again, I was thinking, okay, is that true? But he gave a very good example where he said that that's the reason why all these products are created with different versions, and the versions are better than the last. So each version comes with improvement. I mean, didn't that get you thinking? It is true. That's why we all go and buy iPhones and the new version of something, because it's got an improvement in it. So this is exactly how we should be. So when they created iPhone 1, they probably didn't think, I'm using iPhone as an example, but when they created the first version, it's not necessarily the next version was in their mind. So the physical version of the first version is available, but it's gone. They were thinking of the next version and creating another version and another version to improve. And even now, maybe now that they've actually created this new version now, the latest version, there are other versions that you haven't seen in reality that are in creation. They are in process of creating, that will become reality and will become what it is, that so that will become the truth later on. It would become what you see. So I'm really finding this interesting, guys. I really want you to engage with us. Please call us, and you can call us by calling Julie Ngoya's messenger. That's Julie Ngoya. She's actually put information on there. So if you see information, please call us. And you can also write your comment down. If you write your comments, I can read your comments as well, and you can engage with us in both ways, either comments and calls, so that we would also know what you're thinking, because this is our thought, this is our understanding, and we're reflecting. It shouldn't just be myself and Judy, and sorry, not Judy, myself and ID only reflecting on this. You also should help us out to discuss this and what you think or what you know already about this topic. So the topic is the power and force of truth, and this title that we are reflecting on is truth is not only what you perceive with your five senses. What do you think about that? Do you think that's true? Do you think no, you live by your five senses and that's the truth to you? Full stop. You're not a Christian, you're not a believer, you don't believe in all these kind of things. What you believe is, let us know what your thoughts are. We will be really great. Thank you, Charles. How are you? Hi, Taiwo. Good evening. Thank you for joining us. Yes, Julius put his information on there. Please, guys, give us a call. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, Stella, ID is on the hot seat. Thank you very much. Thank you. So what are your thoughts? Please share them with us. So ID, or let me ask you guys a question first of all. Please let me know what you think about this. Do you live by your five senses? Do you think the five senses is more important than anything else? Because at least you can feel, you can understand, you know what is going on, and that's the truth to you, or otherwise? And just give us reasons why otherwise. And also, can you tell us what the thought is about this series itself, where or this title itself? Dr. Sundays mentioned that everybody is a believer. Everybody. That is a really profound statement for me, because it's not what I believed until he explained it, that everybody is a believer. Because once you can decide to do something in anticipation of what it would be in the future, then you're a believer. How can you decide to get married, impregnate a woman, not believing that she would, or being pregnant, if you're a woman yourself, not believing that she's going to get pregnant for 9 months and then have the baby, and then the baby will make your life great? If you don't believe that, would you even go into that action of doing all these things? So that's the truth. The main truth is actually in the future, not just on the reality that we see now. So what do you think about that? Because that's really deep, and it's not something that we regularly think about. So let me know your thoughts on this. Hello, Laulu, good evening. Ayinka, good evening. Benga, good evening. Justine, good evening. Pauline, good evening. Chimeze, good evening. Paul, how are you? Good evening. Thank you for joining. So let's know your thoughts. I'm going to switch again to ID. I think ID might have something else that he wants to add to this, and I'm interested, and I'm sure that you guys will be interested too. So ID.
Okay, let me debunk this famous phrase that the phrase is seeing is believing. Seeing is doubting. Seeing is doubting. And the most miserable people on earth are the people who are living, the most miserable people on the planet now are the people who base their truth on the five senses. Let me repeat that again. The most miserable people on this planet are the people who base their truth on their five senses. They will be miserable in life. These people will be poor. There will never be progress in their life, because they base their truth on the five senses. Because what will happen tomorrow is, it has been anticipated in your mind. So these people, they say, okay, we want to see. Let me give you a quote from the Bible. It is written in the Bible that it is the glory of God to conceal a matter and it is an honor for Prince to unveil it. So, what was the Bible saying? The Bible was actually talking about the potentials, the inventions, the great things, the great ideas that is embedded in God. So every one of us, it is our honor to go and search it out and bring it to manifestation. That is why, if you are a believer, if you say you know God, and there is nothing that you can bring from, there's nothing that you can unveil for the world to see. The word that you call revelation. Some people may say, I have revelation. Revelation is just okay, just like this cup like this, and somebody just cover this. Can you see? Can you see?
Yeah.
Somebody just cover it like this. Okay. So if somebody you come and unveil it, you just reveal it. This is what they call revelation. So it has been there. God just cover it. So it takes the eyes of faith to see a table in the tree. It takes a eyes of faith to see a chair, table, furniture in the tree.
Wow. I'm going to come back to you, ID. Thank you very much for that. Wow, guys, are you getting something out of this? Because I'm getting I'm getting challenged by ID, and actually by this general discussion is really, really important actually to our well-being, our understanding of our world, understanding of what God has already put in us, and our capability, our strength, our power, our energy. And it's really interesting to me because I know that the Sunday is always talking about us being creator, that there's nothing that we cannot do, encourages us with where he was coming from, or where he came from, his background, and what he's able to achieve now. And he says that all the time that we can also achieve it. But this truth series now has actually made me realize even a lot more about my environment and the world at large, that what we can perceive, what we can perceive is what it is now. So I think I mentioned this at some point yesterday, that the world is a reflection of who we are, what we are as individuals, that we are also creators. But it's becoming clearer and clearer to me, and I don't know how you are feeling out there. Please let me know your thoughts, because what ID and Dr. Sunday thought about, what ID is talking about right now, and what Dr. Sunday thought in this particular title, which is Truth is Not What we perceive with our five senses. So truth is not only. The key is only here, because I don't want to say what we don't, because I keep saying what we perceive. But the truth is also what we cannot see, what we perceive, an ideal or an idea that will become reality later is also truth. And what is existed now, or what has existed, is gone, and we all live by truth. But the important thing for me here is that everybody has faith. Even the people that say that they don't have faith in God, or they don't believe in God, they live by faith, and they all live by truth. So I really want to know your thoughts. I don't want to just speak about my thoughts, because I know what I know, and I want to learn from you. So what do you know? What can you add to this to help us to have a better understanding? Please share your opinions and thoughts with us. I think we have a caller. Do we?
No.
Yeah. Thank you. I'm excited when we have a caller. So who do we have here? Chimezi, hello. Wow, I'm so impressed that you called today. How are you today?
Very well, and you? How are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. So let's see let's add to your wisdom to ours, or to everyone's out there. Please help us out with this topic.
Okay, well, Well, this is just my little contribution. I'm not sure if it's a very superior one, but I'll go ahead and make it.
Please do.
First of all, I just want to say that life is both physical and spiritual.
Okay.
The five senses were given to us by God to relate with the physical realm and our spiritual intuitions and whatever we want to call it for us to be able to relate to the spirit realm. Now, God desires a balance in how we apply and live vis-a-vis the physical and the spiritual.
Okay.
He does not intend for us to live only by the physical or vice versa on the spiritual. But what happens is that people have a tendency of living on either extreme. You know, it's like a continuum, a straight line. And there's a balance in between. And spiritual is on one end and physical is on one end. But you find people either tilting towards being overly spiritual or being overly physical. Now, I think my thinking is that we're supposed to live from the spiritual into the physical. And that's what makes the world a better place. So the inventions, the creations, it takes you at least to, to tap into the spiritual realm. And sometimes you don't necessarily even have to be a Christian.
Yes.
So we are the ones calling it spiritual, but the people who are not Christians, they don't necessarily call that spiritual. They just go in. You find people who are extremely doing yoga, finding time to meditate. That's the word. So people go and they meditate. They find time to meditate and ask themselves questions. And in the process of that meditation, ideas flow, creativity comes, and then they begin to do inventions, which now help the physical, the physical life and help the physical realm have a beautiful life. So people go in, they get ideas to make the iPhone, which you've been using or talking about, or name whatever it is, the inventions people have done, and it makes life in the physical more comfortable. So, however, what has happened is some of us who are Christians, and back home we refer to them as Spiros.
Spiros? What did you refer to them as? Spiros.
Yes, so that's what they call them. I'm sure the ones know this. I'm sure Ivy knows.
Okay.
We call them Overspiro.
Overspiro? Okay. There's some people nodding here. I think they do, they know.
So someone goes into that realm, and that's when they begin to do this. Now, in that point, when they become extremely too spiritual, they suspend their senses. And in suspending those senses, the five senses, they are not able to even evaluate things. God wants us to do an evaluation. He doesn't want us to be extremely on one side of the continuum. You're supposed to do a balance. But, you are physical, however, you're also a spiritual being. So the whole idea is for you to tap into the spiritual and bring ideas into the physical. And that's how the aircrafts, the cars, all the modern inventions we have come about. So my own perception is that it's supposed to be a balance.
Yes.
It's supposed to be a consciousness. Even the spiritual activity is not, you're not supposed to be lost, totally lost, and then don't know what's happening. Don't become too spiritual that you become useless in the world, and then don't become too physical that you become intouchable by the spiritual matter, which is why the Bible says, man must not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceeds from the word of God, which is spiritual.
Wow.
You get what I mean? So
yes.
I just think this is just my thing.
It's absolutely amazing. Thank you so much.
That's the way I say it.
Thank you so much, Chimezie. That is amazing. I think we actually need this balance, because I'm coming from the point of view of just focusing on what this says and then neglecting the senses. But you brought us back, actually brought me back to reality that yes, the senses are good as well. They're important. They're actually from God. So don't forget it. What we just need is a balance. And I love all your points, all the things that you're raising.
And just to add one thing before I leave, that's why, DSA would say, why are you becoming silly? Like the Bible says, oh, you Galatians, who have bewitched you?
Yeah.
Because they suspended something. They suspended an aspect. Maybe they became too spiritual, that they were being led by people telling them all stuff, things, and they became gullible. So God doesn't want you to be foolish. He wants you to be wise. And wisdom is a balance of both ends, because there are spiritual realms you'll be going into that God may not want you to go into. You get what I mean?
Yes.
And, so you stray into those areas becomes a problem. And then you become overly so physical, and then you can't determine the spiritual, then you become silly. That's why sometimes you judge with your side. Maybe, a typical example, and you guys permit me, the young guy who wants to get married, and you're busy looking at strictly the physical appearances. You'll be looking at it more, you use your physical to judge that person, and then you miss it. Sometimes you judge, opportunities with the physical, and you missed it. So it's supposed to be a balance. Otherwise, if you don't do that balance, then you'll be missing out. Thank you, guys.
Wow, this is brilliant. Thank you so much, Chimezi. Thank you so much.
Chimezi.
Wow, guys, look at that caller. Guys, please feel free to call and add your own contribution to this as well. But I really want to talk about some of the things that Chimezi has spoken about. First of all, it's actually brought me back to reality. I think I was swaying more on the spiritual and trying to talk about things that are to come. Yes, this is saying that truth is not only. The fact that it says only, I should actually be balanced. I should have acknowledged that it is also about five senses, as well as what it is, like the faith and what we believe in. But I dived in, okay, let's talk about what is not reality, what we haven't seen. But Chimezi has done a wonderful job to bring us back to reality, especially me. So first thing is, guys, that God intends to have both spiritual and the physical aspect. So it's both the faith and the senses and the things that we see work together, and they must work together. And he mentioned a few things, that if you are over spiritual or something like that they call them in Nigeria or in Africa, then you lose certain aspects of the other part that God is giving you, which is your five senses, to be able to reason, to touch, to smell, to see things, because you're over spiritual and you're neglecting the senses. So here, the key word here, or the key understanding, is not to neglect the five senses. Use the five senses as well as that faith and what it is to come. Use it to dream up things, ideals, and make them reality. So this is really important, and it gave examples in this. I think this example is pivotal, and we should take note of this, especially young people or people that are not married yet, or they're looking at prospects, which is that, for example, a young man that is looking to get married and is looking at a woman in the physical and saying, this woman looks nice, this woman is great. This is the physical that you see now. Other things that you need to look for in a partner or in a relationship is character, what the person is like, what the person can do, what the person can bring in the future, what they built themselves with, what, other things. That if you go just in the physical and say this person looks nice, this person looks great, that wouldn't be enough. And actually Dr. Sunday did teach about that in this particular title as well, and in this series as well. So please check it out. It's on YouTube, Sunday Adelaja Official. I am so grateful to Chimezi, because there's a real balance here, and that balance is important. So guys, don't forget, we need to use both our senses and use what else we have and God has input in us, which is the faith, the belief, the other part of us that is not seen, but is just as true or even more true than what is just seen here. So the other examples that I was given, that even these non-believers and other people that are able to use the spiritual aspect without calling it spiritual, they don't label it as spiritual, they just know that they have an idea or they see something, they can believe in it, and they create it to make a reality. And as Christians, as believers, we should even be able to do this better, because we have both at our fingertips, and we shouldn't suspend our minds in any aspect of it. So God has created us for both the spiritual and the tangible, which is the senses that we can feel now, and we should use both to glorify God and this kingdom. So this is really beautiful. I appreciate it so much, and I've learned a lot from this. I'm going to watch this again so that I can listen to that part again. Is anybody else going to join us and give us some of their own nuggets of truth that we're discussing now, or understanding of what we're discussing now? Please feel free to do so. Hello Clemsy, hello Chinwe, how are you? Thank you for joining. So ID, would you have something to say about what you've just heard and what the caller has just said? Do you want to add anything to it?
Yes,
okay.
Yes, of course.
Okay, I'm going to turn the camera. Yes.
I really want to appreciate the last caller, he was making a lot of sense, which is man is a spirit. Every one of us, we are spirit. We are just catching a physical experience on this planet, because our source, where we come from, we are all spirit living on a physical body. So now the things that we bring forth, like our creation, what we've been able to birth, is the evaluation, is the things that we use to evaluate us. If that's our five senses are what we use to evaluate us, if we have successfully lived a life of from in and out. That is, if we are bringing invention from the spiritual realm and outside. And you know, when you have this idea, everything on this planet started as an idea in somebody's mind. And mind you, there is no idea that is just somebody just have one idea. No. Many people have the same idea the same time, but the first person to take that idea and use his five senses to be able to dissect and to model, and try to draw the prototype of his invention, and he go to laboratories to work on this idea, the pains, the price that he needs to pay. That is what the five senses, we need to bring out those ideas into this physical world. So my challenge to everybody who are on the platform now, or who will be watching this broadcast later, is that no matter what age you are, you can still bring invention to this earth. Abraham discovered that he was not supposed to die at the age of 75 until he gave birth to the heir of the promise. So you are not supposed to die until you bring out that invention that is in your heart, those great ideas that is in your heart. You are not supposed to die. The world are waiting for that precious, priceless invention that is in you. There is nobody that can write your song. It's only you. And there is nobody that can write your book. It's only you. There's nobody that can write your poetry. It's only you. So I dare challenge you that you should not leave this earth without bringing invention to this earth. Stop living on your five senses. Start living more in your spirit man, and bring those inventions out, because those inventions are basically the prayers of people. You know, people are praying and God is giving you idea, and that idea are the solution of people prayers. So I challenge you, every day that you are on this planet is an indication that you can still do more, that there is more in you. Come up with those inventions we are waiting for.
Thank you very much, ID. Right, ideas challenge us all, and actually I have been challenged right from the beginning of this program, and I'm more challenged now, because I think, you know, I'm on the side of using one or the other. So which is either I use my five senses, or when I start using my spiritual, my faith, I then abandon my five senses. But like Chimese said to us, the caller said that both are important. And I think also Dr. Sunday made it clear here, not just generally, he makes it clear all the time that we should use it, but it's also clear here where it says not only. So it means that it's not just one aspect of it's not just the five senses that is important, also the faith and what is not yet reality is also important. You bring that, but I actually feel a sense of responsibility now, the sense of responsibility, and actually empowered. I don't just have responsibility, but I feel empowered because I know now that there's nothing that I can conceive. You know, they say those things, right? But now you have the tools, you have the belief system, the understanding. I do now. They say it all the time that what you conceive, you can bring forth. But I also know how to do that now, and I know that it's a responsibility on my part as a human being. And this is one of the greatest gift, being a human being. What other things in the planet can create like we do? What other animals, for example, in the planet can do what we can do as humans? So we're very superior. And this is really making me realize how superior we are, where I don't use it. I am yet to start using that. I think that we should all use it. Use the other part of what God is giving us. So God is giving us these five senses that we use on a daily basis. But in addition to that, He's also giving us that faith, that spiritual aspect as well, where we call it as Christians spiritual, but other non-Christian are using it in abundance and using it to do things and achieve great things that we're consuming as believers. So the challenge here is that as believers as well, you're a creator, and you should start thinking beyond your senses and what you're feeling. Start the thinking and making those imagination, those ideals, those things that are your faith come to reality. Start building on something. Start building on what God has already put in you. You can do it. It's here. It's inside of you. So there are a few things that I was thinking as the ID was talking, which are books that I think might help you. And one of the books that I think it would help you with this, you all know already, or if you don't know, please pardon me if you're just joining us for the first time. This book is one of my favorite books of Dr. Sunday, which is Who Am I? Why Am I Here? This book is available on Amazon. It's a great book. What would this book do for you? This will help you to identify that thing that is in you, that is your purpose, that God has created you on this earth for. I mean, until I saw this title of this book, it's not a question that I asked myself. I've never asked myself until this title, Who Am I? Why Am I Here? So why am I here on earth? I didn't challenge myself to think, why am I here? I didn't even think of that question. So if you're like me, or actually you are one step or two steps or more steps ahead of me, I think that it is still a book that is worth reading. So that's Who Am I? Why Am I Here? It's available on Amazon, and it's also available on Okada Books if you're in Africa. But if not that book, you can also get some teachings on YouTube, Sunday Adelaja Official. And the teachings for this is in series number 9. So if you go to Sunday Adelaja Official, it's the series on purpose and calling. It's worth checking that out to help you first to identify your purpose, your calling, so that you would know what to create, what to build in your head, what you're passionate about, what you want to make reality. So because you're a creator, we've spoken about that today. We all know what we need to do. We all know that we have our five senses. That's not the only truth that we have. We also have a faith. We have the spiritual aspect that we can use to bring forth things. Just like God created this earth, we as individuals can create things. If you think about it, a lot of the things that we enjoy now was not in creations before. They were never here, but they are here. And there are more things to come that we're going to enjoy. So why don't you be the producer rather than the consumer alone? You have that capability. You have the power, the strength, the information, everything that you need to do it is in you. So you just have to till it. You have to dig for it and look for it. So that's the first book. And if you don't want to get a book, you're not a reader, then I would actually direct you to go to Sunday Adelaja Official on YouTube and watch series number 9. It's not a lot of playlists, it's not a lot of titles on it, so you should be able to do this maybe in a day or a week to watch these titles and help yourself in understanding your purpose. But then there's another book that I was thinking about, and that book, the reason I thought of that book is because sometimes we don't see our life as an opportunity. We don't see it as a place where there's so many things around that we can look around in nature, in life, in our environment. We don't think of them as a way of us understanding what is needed in this world and what we can create as well as individual. So I thought of this book right now, and the book is Life is an Opportunity. That's another book by Dr. Sunday Adelaja, and is on Amazon. So just type in Sunday Adelaja on Amazon, Sunday Adelaja, and you would find this book as well. It's titled Life is an Opportunity. So get that as well. It will give you some ideas of how you can find opportunity in your day-to-day life, and everything that you see, you can find ideas as well that you can use and then create something and become a creator, become an inventor yourself. Then I started thinking, and I thought another book, which is Nobody is Better Than You. The reason I thought about this book is because ID mentioned there that there's something that God has created you for. You're important, and nobody is going to create it unless you create it. So don't deprive us, don't deprive the world of that thing. So I would say you should read the book. Nobody is better than you. Nobody is better than you. These are my 3 recommendations today. The time is fast approaching. Actually, I've gone over the time. I'm sorry, guys. Please read those books, get the book, or at the very least, check out Sunday Adelaja Official, series number 9 about purpose. I appreciate you all for joining us this evening. Please go back to this video and watch it again, because it will really help to have some understanding. We started with the title, which is Truth is Not Only What We Perceive or with our 5 senses. So truth is not only what we perceive with our 5 senses. And then we went on to say various other topics and various other aspects of what this topic means to us and what it's saying to us. And we had a wonderful caller that gave us even better insights on this topic, senses, our 5 senses, and also how important it is and how important the spiritual and faith aspect is as well. So please join us again. We are coming back in just under an hour. Now, Dr. Sunday will continue on the series that he's been treating for 3 weeks now. And today is about Christianity. It's still on the checklist. So I think this checklist 7 that Dr. Sunday will continue with. So please join us at 9 p.m. Ukraine time, which is 7 p.m. UK and Nigeria time. We'll be back very, very soon. So go and have a break and come back and join us. I'll see you. I appreciate you for joining for this program today and this evening. I will see you again. Take care. Bye. And from ID,
Bye.
let me turn the camera.
Bye, everyone.